guys, today we're going to be chatting all about drugstore concealers. If you are looking to pick up something but not spend a whole lot of money, but you don't want to skip out on quality or effectiveness, I have some awesome options for you. Things for spot concealing, color correcting, and under eye concealers. And these are things that I absolutely love. It's not just that they're good from the drugstore. I think that they are great products in general when put head to head with high-end items. If I'm looking a little extra shiny, I'm in the middle of an oily skin diaries, so excuse my extra do. I've committed and I'm not going to blot, so let's get started. The first concealer we're going to chat about today is the NYX HD Concealer. This is what I recommend when people ask me, I want a drugstore concealer for under my eyes, something for brightening and concealing, and this is absolutely it. This is the first drugstore concealer that I ever really fell in love with, and I've repurchased it multiple times, which speaks volumes because I have quite a large makeup collection and I continue to go back to this. I've actually got two right now. I wear it in the shade medium, and then I've also got the shade Glow here, which is a little bit lighter. I definitely prefer this for under my eyes. It's got a little bit of a thicker consistency, but still creamy. It blends beautifully, great coverage. I think it is totally comparable to the NARS Creamy Concealer, which is an absolute favorite of mine. You get, there's 8 different kind of skin tone shades and then 3 more color correcting shades. There's a yellow, a pastel purple, as well as a green. I definitely like it under my eyes better than I do for kind of spot concealing on my face, and it retails for about like $5 to $8 or $9 depending on where you purchase it. That's kind of like with all drugstore products. The only downfall to this concealer is that there's only 0.11 ounces in there, or 3 grams, which is about half the size of a regular concealer of this kind of like doe foot style. So that is a little bit of a bummer and probably why I have repurchased it so much, but I do think it's definitely worth the purchase and it's one of my faves. Up next is a Maybelline concealer that has been hyped up on YouTube for years. It is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind. This is the one that kind of comes with that fluffy top, but if you do not like that applicator, in the past, this is my second time repurchasing this, you can kind of pull that fluffy top off and then just kind of twist it up and pat it under your eyes if you don't like the idea of the little puff, but I do like that. I don't feel grossed out about it or anything. There's 4 different shades of this, and then in the kind of skin tone range, and then you can also get a brightener and a neutralizer. I wear mine in the shade medium. This definitely is a little bit more expensive of a concealer, especially in Canada, and I'm pretty sure in the UK too. In Canada, this can be like $12, $13, and then in the States, I think it's generally like $8, $9, $10. Definitely a little bit more pricey, but you do get a good amount of product in here, 0.2 fluid ounces in comparison to the NYX one that had 0.1, so double the amount that's in here. And I do love the packaging on it because it does push it down, and that ensures that you're going to get to use every single drop that's in here. I wouldn't say this is a completely full coverage concealer, but it gives amazing coverage, a little bit of a thinner texture, but still covers up darkness under your eyes. And then it also says that it has goji berries and haloxyl in here, which is supposed to help with fine lines, dark circles, and puffiness. I can't necessarily attest to that, but the little tip on here sometimes does feel kind of cool and nice under your eyes. I think that this is a really nice option, especially if you have drier skin, because it's a little bit moisturizing. But that being said, if you do have oilier skin, I do not feel like this slips around. And as you may have kind of gathered, I definitely prefer this under my eyes. I've never tried this as a spot concealer, but let me know down below if you like to use these concealers in any other way, and we can chat about it. No surprise here, but the NYX Dark Circle Concealer is an absolute favorite of mine. As you can see, it is very well loved, and I'm going to need to repurchase another one of these. I wear this in the shade Deep, but it also comes in a fair, light, and medium. This is a color corrector, so it's got a great peachy kind of salmon undertone. I like to use this under my eyes and on acne scarring, any kind of darkness I have on my face. It definitely has a little bit of a thicker consistency, so if you have very dry skin and you're used to using something like the Benefit Erase Paste under your eyes to correct, this may feel a little bit dry for you. I don't find that it looks like crinkly or gross under my eyes, but if you are kind of comparing it to the Erase Paste, it definitely has a thicker, more dry formula. The price on this is amazing. It's anywhere in between $5 and $7. I think I've had this for about a year, and I used this consistently under my eyes for a long, long time. I definitely do plan on repurchasing this, and I think it's a great option from the drugstore for color correcting, especially if you have deeper skin, because a lot of them can run so pastel and so light that they just kind of give you like a gray cast on your skin, but this really does help to conceal any of the darkness and correct any of the darkness under my eyes, and then I'll go over it with a more traditional concealer. For spot concealers, I really enjoy the Joe Fresh Long Wear Spot Concealer, and I've tried this under my eyes far too thick to go under the eyes in my opinion. I found it very creasy, it's too creamy, too thick, but all of those kind of attributes make it a great spot concealer. The downfall to this is it only comes in 3 different shades. You get a light medium, and a medium. So if you're any bit deeper than me, you're probably not going to be able to get away with spot concealing with this. I definitely recommend going in with a light hand and building it up and kind of blending it out as you go, because it's easy to overdo. You do get a good bit of product in here, a full 11 grams. It retails for about $10 or $12. You can get Joe Fresh, of course, at Loblaws and now at Shoppers Drug Mart, so it's becoming more accessible, which is exciting, but they do tend to have a very limited shade range. But that being said, it is a great spot concealer. If you have any recommendations for spot concealers or any concealers from the drugstore, let me know down below, because I definitely don't have very many spot concealers that are from the drugstore. Back to Maybelline. These are newer to me, but I've been loving them. They are the Superstay Better Skin Concealers. These are said to be concealers and correctors, and I do feel like they have a great medium, near full coverage, but the consistency is still quite thin and light on the skin. It doesn't feel heavy, and you really can pack on a good bit if you are looking to build coverage. I wear mine currently mixing together to light, medium, and deep, so I could probably use medium. I do enjoy this under my eyes, and again, like the other Maybelline concealer, this says it has acetyl C in it, which is, I just read on their website, a more durable form of vitamin C, which is great for kind of correcting darkness under the eyes. I can't really attest if that has done it for me, but I do really enjoy the way these wear on the skin. You get a decent amount of product in here, again, about double the size of that NYX one, 0.25 fluid ounces, and it retails anywhere in between like $8 and $11, but I have been enjoying this a lot. I will link to a video down below. I have used this in a few recent videos if you'd like to see it in action. I feel like we just keep going in between NYX and Maybelline because they both make some of my favorite concealers. This one I'm only going to briefly mention because I just went to look it up and I can't really find much information about it. There are some links to it on Amazon, but if you do see it, I recommend it. It's the NYX Incredible Waterproof Concealer. This comes in a stick format. It is great for spot concealing. It has amazing wear time. I wear mine in the shade Tan. They've got a good kind of skin color range along with a few correctors. I can't really attest to if it is waterproof, but it definitely does last nicely throughout the day. It's got a creamy texture, but it isn't too dry and cakey like a lot of stick products can be. And when I purchased it, I think it was like $5, so a really good price. To keep the theme going, let's go back to Maybelline. This is the Master Conceal Face Studio Camouflage Concealer. I really like this one. You get a full 0.4 fluid ounces in here, so quite a bit of product, which is nice because I think it is definitely a double duty concealer. You can use it to spot conceal. You can also use it under your eyes. If you do have incredibly dry under eyes, it may be a little bit too matte for you. You might need to moisturize a little bit more, but I definitely do feel like it can go between the two. I wear mine in the shade Medium Deep, which is a little bit deeper than I would normally go for under my eyes, but it is good for spot concealing. I feel like it has a nice creamy texture, but it does dry down quite matte, and this retails for about the same as the Better Skin Concealer as well, anywhere in between like $8 and $11. And lastly, let's switch brands altogether and go to the LA Girl Pro Conceal. This is their HD concealer. It's Insta famous. You probably recognize it from there. This one is awesome, mostly because the price is super cheap, like $5, and it has a gigantic shade range. So in the kind of more skin tone shades, there's over 20 shades. Then they've also got like 6 correctors, and then also ones that are meant for kind of like highlighting. A lot of people go shades deeper for highlighting and contouring and that kind of thing. It's super blendable. It's got a brush tip. If you don't like the brush tip, you can actually pop that off if you don't want to use it. You get 0.25 ounces in here, which again is the kind of general standard sizing for this. I feel like personally I can't get as full coverage as I see on Instagram in real life, if that makes sense. Like I see people do this and they're like putting it on under their eyes and contouring and stuff with it, and they get sick full coverage. I definitely get a medium to full, but I feel like I can't get as full coverage. I don't know what it is. But I wear mine in the shade Pure Beige under my eyes. I have the one Almond for contouring. I find it really blendable. I haven't used like the green one or any of that for spot concealing, so I can't really attest to that. I definitely feel like it's probably more of an under eye highlighting and contouring concealer for me, but I definitely do want to try the orange one for under the eyes. It's a nice deep orange, so if you do have deeper skin, that's a great option for color correcting for you as well. And I have seen people use the orange one to spot or kind of like color correct any darkness on their face, and with such a good price, like you can pick up 3 or 4 of these for highlighting, contouring, concealing, correcting for like $20 and then skip out on purchasing like one high-end high-end concealer for $35. I think they are definitely worth it. A little bit harder to get your hands on in Canada anyways, but if you have any tips or tricks on where to find them in Canada, be sure to let me know down below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this drugstore concealer roundup. Let me know down below what your favorites are, because I'm always looking to try more and we can all inform each other and have a great chat down in the comment section. If you'd like to connect with me, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat at SamanthaJaneYT, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!